Hello, and welcome to Tea with Debbie. Let's talk. And I have my tea, of course. I want to talk about something today that I do have permission to talk about and say what I'm saying. I know a little girl, and we grew up together. I think I remember back when we were about 5 years old. She was a very loving and thoughtful child. She's older now, like me. We're the same age. And she's still just as thoughtful and kind. Like I said, I have 100% approval to talk about this. She went through some rough times in her life growing up. As a child and into adulthood, we are still good friends. I watched her struggle with parents that would drink and fight. Physically and argumentatively, almost 4 times a week, like every other night. She would hide under her covers. She would hide in the closet, afraid and hoping she wouldn't have to be involved in what was going on. She remembered hearing her mother and dad struggling and scuffling around, and her mother yelling for help. She always said she couldn't wait until she turned 18 years old so that she could move out. I am reading notes. Well, she didn't wait. She married at about 3 months of being 17 years old. She married an older man. He was a hard worker. He spoiled her with everything she wanted, anything she wanted. They had owned 3 or 4 homes. They had a motor home. They traveled to many different areas and many other states because of his job. They had to travel a lot. It got hard with children traveling around. They ended up having 5 kids. And the last few years of her marriage was not so great. Everything changed. Things do change for people. It seems like nothing stays the same. It's very rare if it does anymore. But they were married for 11 years. I'm sorry if there's a lot of wind blowing in here. After she divorced this man that she was married to, and all the struggles that they had, and they went through some pretty hard times. She stayed single for about 10 years. Just did things on her own and went her own way. They had battles over the children because he was so much older, and she was young and naive. She didn't realize that she had so many people or programs that could back her up in a lot of the stuff that she went through. But he got to where he would mistreat her and abuse her. He used her children against her. Well, then after about being single for 10 years, she remarried again, and she was married to that man for 10 years. They had a good life. They traveled, and they had a boat and a motorhome. They played bingo. They went on vacation. They worked together, and she really loved him. She loved him very much. Well, her kids' dad, he passed away in January of 2002. He had cancer, and her second husband, he passed away April 6th of 2002. So she went through that period, couple months period of time of burying two husbands. She was still friends with the kids' dad. He was always a part of her life. He did things with the kids, and he was always there for her most of the time if she needed something, even when she was single. I don't know, life is strange sometimes for people. Anyway, it was really sad for the kids, especially when their dad died. And then their stepdad passed away. I'm sorry. I ended up having to use this because my volume on my phone is not working right, and neither does my little mic that I have, so I've got to get a new one of those, I guess. So I'm stuck with the headphones and the mic in my mouth. The kids were pretty much grown when their dad died. Her youngest son was 14 years old, maybe going on 15. And it was really tough. It was hard. She took care of their dad at her home on hospice, even though they had been through a lot. Her husband that she was married to, like I said, passed away just a couple months later. She was terribly traumatized. It was sad, so sad. She went through a lot, and she had a hard time raising her 14-year-old son alone and not with nothing to live on. It was hard. She was not able to collect widows' benefits until a certain age. I believe it was 50 years old, but she took a big loss on the income she had because she had to collect early. And she is now 67 years old. She had to move into her son's home. Now, this all happened when she was in her 40s, or early 40s. So, it was really rough for her. It was hard. I can't imagine all of her thoughts and everything that she went through. Well, I can't imagine. But, anyway, she survived. She made it. She's a survivor. She's a fighter. She still has a lot of love, and she still shares smiles, and she tries to be kind to people every chance she gets. She knows what it's like to go through hard times. Seriously. Now she's 67 years old. She's had to move into her son and daughter-in-law's home because she couldn't afford to pay rent. She couldn't afford to pay electric, couldn't pay for her phone and internet. She had nothing left for food or toiletries, personal items. On top of that, her health got bad. And I believe that a lot of the stuff that she went through didn't really help matters with her health and her nerves. But she does have a caregiver, and if it wasn't for that caregiver, she would be totally lost. It's hard for her to get around or do certain things. It's tough. She deserved a better life all the way around. But she carries on, being kind, like I said, and she gives all of her praise to God for keeping her strong and giving her the courage to carry on. Her children are grown. They are her world. They always will be. Doesn't matter how old they are. She loves her children more than anything. Even though she still struggles with some of the choices that they make for their lives, that has caused her heartache and pain. She just goes with the flow and tries to take it day by day. There is no one on this earth that does not have struggles of some kind or another. And like I always say, is to be kind to people, smile, say a kind word, share some love. It doesn't cost anything, and it means more to somebody than you may realize. This girl that I'm talking about was my very best friend. She still is. I love her, and I love how strong she is. I love how she carries on, even though times are tough. And she's thankful for her family, her kids. So, I guess if you like my video, or you get anything out of it, would you please like and subscribe? I don't usually ask anybody to like and subscribe. It doesn't cost anything. It is free. It helps me with my YouTube channel. And I would love to get some feedback, some comments. I will respond. I look forward to getting comments on my videos. It means a lot to me, and it helps me. So, I guess if you can watch this video and figure out maybe who this best friend is, you're pretty smart. She'll always be my best friend. Bye for now. I'm gonna let you go until the next time. I hope you enjoy my video, and I send all my loving kisses to all. You mean the world to me. Thank you so much for watching. Have a wonderful day, and I'll see you next time.